Alrighty, welcome back to another video. The new Ninja Tower is back and they have some exciting new ninjas to play around. And as you can see here, there's some new ones here. Some really good art as well. Asakura Masau and Mikanagi Miran are the new 5 stars, together with Tokage Daigo as the 4-star and Yamada Jingasa as the 3-star. It's pretty funny that they released 2 out of the 3 ninjas from beta. I do believe there was a green new ninja as well, and instead of releasing all at once, they decided to put in Nomad as one of the featured ones. So um, you can see from the gems that I did my pulls already. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let you guys see it at the end of the video, whether did I manage to get any of the new heroes. But I can tell you that it's going to suck if you do pulls and you get Nomad instead. Now the thing about these tower summons as well is that they have now included this chance to get a bonus legendary if you get a legendary event hero. So I'm going to assume that even if you get some of the older ones, like for example if you pull Ito, Sawano and all the other old ones, you do get a chance, a 20% chance to get another legendary event hero as well. So it could, you could like get Tora, for example, and then you might get one of the featured one as the bonus. Now, please remember, it's only a 20% chance to get a bonus. It is not guaranteed to get the bonus. So let's look at the new heroes. I'm going to start with the 5 stars. So Asakura Masau is a 5-star red paladin. They have this Ronin family passives. So for 1, 2, or 3 heroes of the same family, you get 30, 50, or 70% extra chance to bypass defensive buffs. That's actually pretty interesting because there might be a ninja with the ranger class, which then overlaps, and then if any defensive buffs are bypassed, this character's mana is increased by 5%. Well, actually that's actually pretty decent. If you get to like bypass counter attacks, damage reduction, defense buffs and all that, so you get additional 5% mana, which can help, because ninjas often the second charge is the sweet spot, and if you get to hit the third charge, that's actually pretty decent. The third charge for a ninja is usually about I want to say is about between 12 to 13 tiles, if I'm not mistaken. The second charge is 9 tiles with the right mana troop, and the first charge is 2 matches basically. So they also have other passives here: prevent, boosted healing. Enemies' health cannot increase above their max health, which means it counters a lot of the heroes on defense, or the healers on defense. You look at I believe Freya Waru increases, I believe Freya Waru boosts health as well. And then there's Salome boosts health. Unfortunately, the new one, Zondalaf, is a regular health percentage increase, so it's not affected by the ninja here. And then dishonorable defeat. When this character is defeated by a special skill, they perform the following actions. The attacker receives 400% damage. So this is based on the sword stat of Asakura himself. And the attacker receives 1,200 bleed damage over 3 turns. Now, there are some newer heroes in the meta that are immune to bleed, so that's not really the case to worry too much about. So, pretty decent though. I mean, if you die, you still get like the final final hit against the character that actually kills him. So that's actually pretty decent here, especially counters certain snipers or anything, because usually snipers have a much lower defense and health, and that 400% might be the key to kind of kill that particular sniper after he kills Asakura. So let's look at the special skill 2 sword technique. So charge mana speed. So the first mana charge deals 250% damage to the target. The attack chains through all enemies. Note that the damage does not decrease within the chain, so that means it's going to deal 250% damage equally to everything, as long as they are chained together. So that's actually pretty cool. Better than, Kufu and all that. And apart from that, you also get a growth. The caster gets 100 attack and 100 defense. So that's amazing. I mean, as a very fast speed character, this actually is pretty decent, because you just need 2 matches, you fire this, 2 matches, you fire again, 2 matches, you fire again. It's actually going to be really strong. The second charge deals 400% damage to the target. The attack chains through all enemies or adjacent. And then instead of just the caster and nearby allies get 250 attack and 250 defense. This plays well if you can just pair him together with heroes that are slightly outdated in terms of stats. The growth will actually help them stay alive, because it's 250 attack and 250 defense. Usually for attacking characters, you would usually see them only have attack. But if you can pair this, like for example, you pair it together with a Pepper Flame, for example, that's gonna hit really hard, especially because Pepper Flame is gonna increase his attack stat, and then on top of that, Asakura is gonna increase as well. So that's gonna be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. And then at the third mana charge, this is basically, if you hit the third mana charge, is basically game over. Deals 600% damage to all to all hit enemies, and all allies get 600 attack and 600 defense. I would say Asakura, how they've built Asakura is kind of like, if you have 2 Asakuras on your attack team, it's going to be insane. Even if you have one itself, as long as you pair it properly, like if you're going to build Asakura to use as a one at the first mana charge, then any very fast speed raids suddenly become very, very interesting to you. But I think the sweet spot is going to be the second mana charge. So charging as an average speed hero, you get to give your nearby allies 250 attack and 250 defense. Now, most of the time, you would want to fire Asakura first, because you want to chain, you want to make sure that the attack chains through everyone before anyone gets damaged. Or the chain breaks, like for example, you kill the flank or you kill the tank. So usually when you do that, so you're gonna get Asakura to fire first. You're gonna give your allies that's beside him 250 attack. That's gonna increase their attack base. So you can run something like like Sarius, for example, or even Lu Zishan, because Lu Zishan gives attacks all for a certain amount of damage, and with the growth, he's gonna hit really hard. Yeah, and even heroes like Jwala, for example, Jwala is gonna be amazing with Asakura as well. So I think there is definitely merit to having a lot of combinations, and merit to just having a single Asakura as well. Obviously, I think the sweet spot is having 2 Asakuras, but it's a new hero and the odds are pretty low. It's definitely nice to just have one. So really, really strong hero. I think it's really an amazing hero, very flexible. And can be used everywhere, basically. You can even use this for Titans just because of the growth. But obviously, you need to time it well. I would prefer to get to at least the second charge and not the first charge only, because at least the second charge you get to is kind of like a Pepper Flame in Titan teams. But I think you would still use Pepper Flame in any case. But it's going to be really good for Monster Island as well, because you get to chain through all the monster hordes. So that'll be interesting. So definitely a strong one here. Amazing ninja, I think. Would be nice to have him. Okay, the second one, Mikanagi Miran, 5-star purple sorcerer. So same effects all the way. I'm not going to go through too much of it. Let's look at the special skill, Iai Jutsu. So Iai Jutsu, I believe Iai Jutsu is, if I'm not mistaken, is a blade ability where it's kept in the sheath. You keep your sword in the sheath, and Iai Jutsu is the sword art where you are basically attacking by unsheathing your sword, striking once, and putting it back into the sheath. So I believe that's Iai Jutsu. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's very interesting that they use this name when the special skill, I don't believe, has anything to do with Iai Jutsu. So let's look at the first mana charge. Deals 310% damage to the target. Deals additional 310% damage to one random enemy. Dispels one buff from each hit enemy. Okay, fair fairly decent. You can dispel maybe a taunt. Um, oh no, you still so you get to hit like against this actually pairs really well to dispel both the current meta taunts except for Laurent. So there's three meta taunts in the game right now. So there's Laurent, there's Li Kui, and then there's Fergent. So Li Kui and Fergent, their taunt is basically at the top, I believe. It's like the middle buff. It's not the latest buff because Fergent has a drop, the damage drop as the latest buff, and Li Kui has the damage reduction as the latest buff. So you can use Mikanagi at the first charge to dispel Li Kui and to dispel Fergent as well. For Laurent, I believe the stone skin doesn't matter whether you dispel the taunt or not. It's not really a buff. So you just don't deal any damage, you're dispelling the buff either ways. So it's not really, Mikanagi is not really as good against Laurent as she is against Li Kui and Fergent. So that's definitely a way to use Mikanagi here. And once you do that, the second charge deals 320% damage to the target and deals additional 320% damage to 4 random enemies. But now you have a stack. Each hit gives its target minus 5% defense, and you dispel 1 buff from each hit enemy. That is amazing, especially against Titans where you can time it to have Mikanagi fire at the second charge all the time. That's 5 hits onto the Titan. You only need to charge her twice. Charge her to second charge twice. And that's going to give them minus 50% defense, which is already this more than what Tweedles can provide. It's more than what Gortooth can provide in terms of the damage output and in terms of the defense stack. Because Gortooth definitely goes higher. Gortooth can go up to about 60 to 70% defense down. But remember, this is the Mikanagi's damage output is going to be much stronger than that, because it's 5 times of 320% damage onto the Titan. So that's going to be even more. And against in wars, Mikanagi is going to be amazing. We have literally the same type of hero that's currently terrorizing the meta right now in terms of Teffer. So Teffer deals. If you look at Teffer, hold on, let's look at Teffer. Where is Teffer? Teffer deals 375% damage to the target and 4 random enemies. So that's about the same. 320% damage. Okay, attack stat maybe a bit higher for Mikanagi. I guess Teffer still deals a bit more damage, but you can definitely see that it's somewhat similar. So that's going to be really, really strong as well. Yeah, cool. We all know the terrors of Teffer anyway, so I think Mikanagi is going to be really strong. And then finally at the third charge, deals 330% damage to the target, deals additional 330% damage to 10 random enemies. Each hit gives its target minus 5%. So if you get to the third charge against a Titan, that's all you need. Minus 50% defense straight away. And then they also have the best part of this, safely dispels 1 buff from each hit enemy. That's going to be amazing as well. So I think Mikanagi is really, really strong. Again, not sure whether 2 is required, but 1 definitely. You can either get her to the third charge, or if you're going against a Li Kui that has fire, then you only need 6 tiles, and you get to hit really hard against Li Kui as well. And don't forget, with the Ronin family as well, his damage reduction is not even going to matter, because there's a chance that you bypass the defensive buffs. So I think Mikanagi is really, really strong, really, really exceptional ninja. Definitely better than most of the ninjas that we've seen throughout. And now we look at the 4-star purple ninja ranger class. So there again, ranger. So because of that, the talents, there's an additional 25% chance to bypass defensive buffs. So if they bypass, you get minus 20% defense, and on top of that you get 5% mana. That's interesting. So the special skill, I just want to see if this is correct. Yeah, it's still the same, 400% damage, but of course it's based on the stats here. Deals 180% damage to the target at first charge, the attack chain. So this is basically Asakura. but with something else. All hit targets receive 618 poison damage over 2 turns, and the attack has a 65% chance to bypass defensive buffs. This is insane. This is the counter to Cyprian. I mean, if you have this, you can easily use this against Toon Cyprian or Glass Cyprian as well. That's going to be really awesome. Second charge just deals more damage, more poison, and an 85% chance to bypass defensive buffs. And the third charge, I'm going to assume, yeah, it's fully bypassing defensive buffs. So no counter attack, deals a shitload of damage. I think the 4 stars, they're really trying to make 4 stars a little bit pushed, which is going to be interesting because, you know, in lower war tiers, you might start seeing heroes like this being used in wars as well. Because as you're trying to build up your 5 stars, you would want some 4 stars as your main kind of like attack force because it's easier to level up. So Tokage is definitely strong. I think it's definitely one of the best 4 stars we've seen in a while. So Yamada Jingaza is the 3-star. It's a monk this time. So first charge deals 200% damage to the target, deals additional 200% damage to 1 random enemy. Then the second charge is 260% to the target and 260 to 2 random enemies. And then all hit targets get negative 24% attack for 3 turns. And the final one is to the target and 3 enemies at 320% damage. Not the best. I think if you compare with the yellow 3-star that we had, let's see, let's go to the yellow 3-star. What was his name? Yeah, Kinsai Shi. So, this is significantly lower damage. Alright. Yeah, significantly lower damage just to more random enemies. So I think maybe Jingaza might be slightly better than, although it's to less enemies. But I think still stat-wise, I think it's because it's new, it's definitely going to deal a lot more damage. So I'm really happy with all the heroes that are out. I think they're definitely worth leveling and worth playing around and seeing whether they fit your team compositions and whether they there might be a chance that they are actually good on defense as well. You never know, because the problem with ninjas being on defense is that you will never know when they actually fire their on which charge they're actually firing, unless you look at something like Myoin Ni when Myoin was the meta tank at that point. Myoin was somehow just like an amazing tank at that point, because regardless of when she fires, she's boosting health and she's also giving mana generation as well, so which is what made her so strong. So yeah, I think these are definitely amazing heroes to have. I did my pulls already, so I'm gonna put it at the end of the video. So I wish you all the best in pulling some of these new heroes, and because of this portal as well, I will not be doing any pulls for the birthday summons. Because I've decided to allocate all my gems on this ninja tower, because I really like the design and I really like the characters. So yeah, good luck to those who are pulling, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. GG.